Kia ora. Welcome to Wednesday, the 15th of November 2023. It's my morning ramble for the day. Some excitement to start the morning. Neighbours' livestock guardian dogs decided they were going to come pay us a visit across the top of one of our ridges, so I guess they got out. So we had a dog versus dog encounter, but other than a bit of barking, it all seemed to resolve itself okay. So all good. But I'll let the let the livestock guardian dogs, markedly bigger, go and do their thing. So thoughts in my brain this morning around skills and learning skills that you don't have, and this is particularly pertinent to homesteading. And one of the things that we lack in Western civilization, I guess, is that shared generational experience. Again, this is just a generic comment. It's not. There's always exceptions, but I think it's definitely the good old bad old days when you had your grandparents and your parents and everybody kind of lived in relative proximity, and a lot of that older knowledge was kind of handed down from youth. You pretty much had to work and do stuff, and these days we don't tend to do that. Everybody's just so distant, and relatives are far away, and all that stuff. So, and we're just not really in a place where a lot of that older knowledge is shared. So we're reliant on new technology, and new technology has a lot of built-in obsolescence. You notice that how regularly you change your phone and computers and things like that. It isn't that the old ones are necessarily worse, but these days with operating system updates being forced on you and forced obsolescence at that level, I have a graveyard of Macs that are all perfectly usable Macs, but the operating systems are no longer getting security updates, and that's okay. They're actually perfectly good machines, but so repurposing them for other things or whatever later. But anywho, so skills. So how do we learn? Well, YouTube, obviously. There's various other skill sites that you can kind of subscribe to and pick up new knowledge and stuff. From our experience here, working with other homesteaders, that's definitely another avenue that you can tap into. People who know things and are happy to share the knowledge of those things. And a lot of the homesteaders that we've interacted with are very, very, very open with sharing stuff, but you have to ask. So there is that, and that's the right thing to do. But for us here, Dawn, I know, is very much a work it out kind of woman. So she'll just go and kind of work it out and play around and come up with solutions. And her and I both use YouTube for looking at what people have done. I'll be up front, the channels where they basically share mistakes, I personally find to be a lot more useful, because you learn what not to do through usually hopefully someone else's experience, hopefully not fatal experience or damaging experiences, usually not, but there is a plethora of information out there. I devour books, and books are great. They're great for reference. They're great for giving you an idea of what you think you need to know, and at least get you pointed in the right direction. But instructional videos tend to be a little better, particularly the to the point, just get the job done type videos, rather than like rambles like this, where there's just all filler and no substance. But but I digress. But learning skills is definitely a thing, and it's something that we're increasingly, very soon, particularly once we start building. There's not many people out there know how to build earth bag houses, and they're kind of here to share that experience. So we're definitely going to go on a journey there. There's no two ways about it, and a lot of mistakes will be made. But I'm quite comfortable personally doing the research and then, you know, going to see whether, you know, it can be implemented or not. The key thing there, I guess, is, you know, how much research is enough. And I guess short answer to that is, when you think you're ready to go. So and that was not an answer. You can over research, and, you know, and I'll take chainsawing a tree as an example. We had a tree that had to come down, as you're probably aware, a little while ago, and, you know, I barely knew how to use a chainsaw. I really hadn't used one before ever. So I was watching what I call chainsaw porn, which is just lots and lots of videos on people, you know, demonstrating chainsaw techniques and do's and don'ts and cutting hinges and, you know, roping things and winches and all that sort of stuff. So we had a lot of, and these are people who do it for a living. So, you know, it's not like they're amateurs. And a lot of people out there share good advice. So we learned a lot from that, to the point that I felt we were quite comfortable doing it. And as a result, we applied those techniques, and they were successful. But, you know, we had the pleasure of having somebody on the property who was wanted to cut up stuff, and I won't go into the details on that one. It kind of didn't work out. But anyway, I was curious because they were experienced at cutting, so I was really keen to take all my, you know, safety knowledge and all that kind of stuff. And I'll admit I was a little horrified at how little safety was actually being applied to a lot of the cutting going on there. And I don't know about you, but I take trees seriously. If one of these things is going in the wrong direction, you are not going to just push that thing back up and back into position again. You know, this is a lot of stuff coming down, a lot of weight. So you plan, you don't rush it, and these are all things that I've learned from, you know, research and watching videos and stuff. And no doubt those are far more experienced than I am, will have extra tips, you know, time-saving tips and techniques. But I'd rather just kind of go in slowly and learn as I go, and then just deal with other situations. But that's just one example. So, you know, we have a lot of these skills that we're just kind of picking them up as we go. And, you know, I'm sure that we have made a lot of mistakes. We will make a lot more mistakes. But I've always been a big believer that making mistakes is the best way to learn. You do your research, and then you just get stuck in and do it. And then you find that you didn't quite understand something properly, or you make a mistake along the way. You need to learn how to correct that mistake on the fly, or by applying more research that perhaps you didn't look into something in enough detail. But once you go through that mistake process, you come out with a stronger knowledge and a more solidified knowledge of the topic that you're actually working on. And that, you know, people don't like making mistakes. It makes them feel bad. But when it comes to skills, any knowledge, any learning, you know, don't touch the oven. It's hot, and you'll burn your finger. All right. Well, I'm not saying go out and touch ovens to prove that right, but we learn through making mistakes, and then we try not to repeat those mistakes. Hopefully try not to repeat those mistakes. Some people just don't learn, but that is what that is. And then we basically, you know, we're stronger for it. So anywho, just a quick ramble on skills, and your thoughts and comments, as always, are welcome. If you happen to like what we're doing on the homestead, you know the drill. Subscribe. That will make my wife happy. And you know, if you've got any advice or tips, you're always happy to hear about those in the comments as well. Otherwise, you have a great day. We'll ramble again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.